Hey everyone, this is my 6-week post-hysterectomy update. So I'm 6 weeks post-op today, where I had a hysterectomy on the 27th of May, where I had all my reproductive organs removed. I had a laparoscopic keyhole procedure, which was also vaginally assisted, which means that they cut everything. Using a keyhole procedure, they cut all the organs, and then they remove them out through the vagina and stitched my vagina to some of the ligaments inside. 6 weeks is a milestone, mostly because I have a 6-week post-operative appointment this week on Wednesday afternoon, so I'll do an update after that as well. So she's just going to check that everything's all good and check the stitch inside and everything and see where it's at. Physically, I feel great. Physically, I feel much more back to doing things. I've got energy, I'm sleeping really well, and I actually feel like doing stuff. So I've been like walking every morning, I've been going to the gym every second day, I've been able to do a bit of work at home, and starting work full-time this week. So we'll see how I go with the introduction of work, full-time work especially. I have noticed that the fatigue does set in, so I'm still sort of battling with a post-surgical, post-hysterectomy fatigue. And so the post-hysterectomy fatigue I've read about and researched a bit about can also be a hormonal thing, as all of us have a reproductive brain connection, regardless of what the organs are and regardless of whether they align with the body or not. We all have a hormonal cycle. And so now that that's been removed, I no longer have a reproductive brain connection that gives my pituitary information about where it's at. So I think the recalibration, the hormonal fatigue recalibration is probably responsible for some of that kind of fatigue post-hysterectomy. So I've just kind of been gentle with myself, trying to eat really well, trying to eat all the right foods, especially for hormonal stuff. So a lot of greens with a lot of sulfur, just to break down enzymes in the liver, help the enzymes in the liver break down extra hormone metabolites or whatever. I've been eating lots of blueberries and things for my pituitary gland, and just things like that, just supportive nutrients, so I can get lots of energy from those nutrients, but also so they can support the system that supports me, rather than eating lots of fatigue creating foods that just on their own are fatigue creating, and also foods that don't support my system so that I'll get fatigued that way. So I've just been working on that, just trying to keep it all really tight. Emotionally doing a lot better than last week and the week before. I just had a lot more of the PMS-y kind of waves where I'd have PMS for 2 days and I'd be good for 3 days and I sort of sink back into it and come out. And also that kind of in-between limbo of being ready to do stuff but not being able to do stuff. I often find I get a little bit antsy, not so much anxious anymore, just a bit antsy, and I can sometimes feel a bit useless, and that might make me feel depressed. I don't have a state of depression, which is really good at the moment, and I haven't since surgery. I haven't had a state of anxiety except for the first couple of weeks after, but that was due to a lot of circumstantial things. So I'm really, really happy and proud of where I am emotionally and mentally with this recovery. I've definitely learned a lot, and I've just stayed present with the whole process, and because of that, I haven't had any mental or emotional resistance to the change. I feel it's flowed through really easily, and so it's affected me less upstairs. Everything else is really good. I have had some actual physical changes, which does happen. Hello, Howard. This is my cat. You want to say hi? You want to say hi? Come here. Oh, cute cat. This is my cat, Howard. He's got one eye. It's my designer cat. He's on an adventure today. He usually sleeps all day in my bed, and then he gets up at night and sleeps all night in my chair. So he's having an active day today outside in June. The other thing that I was going to mention is so what happens, I think, what I've noticed post-hysterectomy is that the testosterone that I take is a little bit more potent in my system, mostly because I don't have any other hormones or hormonal cycles that are counteracting that. I also don't have any organs, like I felt like the uterus and the ovaries did play a role in sort of buffering the testosterone. So I do feel like without those organs, the testosterone is a little bit more potent in my system. And so I would say that I'm going through like a bit of a third puberty. So obviously the first puberty being when I was female and going through when I was a teenager. The second puberty being when I first started testosterone for the first year to 18 months. And now I would say this is the third puberty in that I have had some more changes since the hysterectomy, I think, because the testosterone is a bit more potent. So the changes that I've noticed is facial hair. I've had like thicker facial hair, and I've had a lot more growth in areas that are kind of very scattered. So that's really cool. I have lost quite a lot of head hair. I've noticed it just sort of falling out and being like, you know, if I've been writing and the paper's like covered in hair on my pillow and in the shower as well. So I've kind of just upped my head hair retention game using the shampoos and taking the herbs and using the minoxidil as well, just on the areas of my head that are patchy. So I expect that my hairline will change a little bit more over the next 6 months or so. I've had an explosion of chest hair since surgery. So the hair around my nipples, which was there before, has become denser, and I've got a lot more hair in this area and down my back too. So that's really exciting as well. Like, I actually just love hair, so I'm all about that. I do feel like my voice has changed. I've gone down a little bit deeper. It's easier to stay in that deeper zone. And I put on weight, which is awesome. I have always struggled to keep weight on, especially while powerlifting and bulking and things like that. But I feel like my muscles are still quite dense, even though I haven't trained properly for 6 weeks. And like I've done 2 very lightweight sessions since surgery. The rest of it's been like yoga-based, stretching-based, or core work. So I definitely feel like my muscles are denser. I put on 3 kilos pretty much in a month. So I don't know if that means my metabolism is slower, though I don't feel that way. Or because my new eating habits, maybe I'm absorbing food better, although my new eating habits are mostly vegetarian. So that's also interesting. So maybe there's like a hormonal shift. Maybe the testosterone has helped my muscles become more metabolically active, so maybe they're absorbing glycogen or creating glycogen better or whatever. So I've got to research that and have a look at what that means, but I'm really happy with the weight gain. I'm definitely like keen. It's always been really hard for me to bulk and put on weight when I need it, like especially during like comp season and stuff. So I'd be happy for that if that continued, and especially if it was distributed more to my muscles. Yeah, so I feel like third puberty is treating me better than second and first, which is good. Less of the emotional stuff, just more of a physical change, physical differences, a bit of more enhancement in a way. Cool, so this is the end of my video. Thanks for listening, and thanks to everyone for all your feedback and your encouragement during this time. It's been really cool. It's been cool to share, and it's been cool to sort of create with you guys and go there. So thanks again. See ya.